I'm tired of your charity. Just give me the money or this won't end well, Claire, sneered Vivian, her voice dripping with menace. Vivian's sudden appearance on my doorstep felt like a storm arriving without warning. I stood firm, blocking her path. Vivian, you have no right to make demands in my house, I replied, my hands trembling but my voice steady. Vivian's sneer widened. Your house? Isn't this Dad's place? Or have you forgotten? I took a deep breath, trying to remain composed. It's ours now, Vivian. Dad moved in with us because he needed care. We've been taking care of everything, including him. She shoved me aside and barged in, her heels clacking loudly on the wooden floor. Upstairs, I heard Sam's footsteps, probably alerted by the noise. Victor, engrossed in his daily therapy, glanced up, his expression a mix of guilt and worry. Sam appeared at the top of the stairs, his brow furrowed. What's going on here? Vivian wants money. Again, I explained, my eyes not leaving Vivian's. She moved around the living room, touching things as if trying to infect them with her hostility. Eric threw me out, Vivian announced, not looking at Sam, and I need to pay some bills. I crossed my arms. We've helped you before, Vivian, but giving you money isn't helping anymore. It's enabling. Vivian's eyes flashed with anger. Oh, so now you're a psychologist too? Save your speeches, Claire. Vivian, that's enough, Sam interrupted, stepping down. You can't just come in here and start demanding things. Vivian's rage boiled over. She knocked a framed photo off the mantelpiece, sending it crashing to the floor. You think you're better than me? You sit in your nice little house with your perfect life, while my son and I are out on the streets. Enough! Victor's voice, though weakened, carried authority. Vivian, this isn't the way to handle things. He struggled to stand, but Sam was by his side in an instant, helping him up. Vivian's eyes softened for a brief moment, then hardened again. Fine, I get it. You don't want me around, but remember this, Claire, family sticks together. You'll regret turning your back on me. She turned and stormed out, slamming the door behind her. The house fell silent, the tension hanging heavy in the air. Victor sighed, sinking back into his chair. I'm sorry, Claire. It's my fault for not disciplining her better when we were younger. I placed a hand on his shoulder. We all make choices, Victor. You didn't create this situation. Sam looked at me, his eyes filled with a mixture of frustration and determination. We have to protect what we've built here, Claire. We can't let her destroy it. I know, I said, my resolve hardening. We will handle this together. Our small family stood united against the brewing storm that was Vivian. Little did we know, this was only the beginning. The next day, just as I was finishing my evening shift at the hospital, my phone buzzed. The caller ID read Vivian. My gut twisted. I knew picking up would only bring more trouble, but ignoring her wouldn't make her go away. Taking a deep breath, I answered. Hello, Vivian. Claire, listen to me, she began, her voice thick with urgency. Nate's sick. I need money for a doctor. Vivian, you know I can't just... Don't you care about your nephew? He's just 6. Her voice trembled, playing on my sympathy. I sighed, pressing my fingers to my temples. Of course I care about Nate, but giving you money hasn't helped in the past. Don't be heartless, Claire. This is about your family. I paused, considering her words. Bring him over. I can have our doctor check him out. No, you just don't understand, she snapped. You always look down on me, don't you? That's not true. Let's find a solution for Nate together, I offered, trying to calm her down. Forget it. I knew you wouldn't help, she spat and hung up. Arriving home, I found Sam and Victor sitting quietly in the living room, a tense set to their shoulders. I relayed the call to them. Vivian's playing games again, Sam muttered. But what if Nate really is sick? Victor, looking more frail than usual, shook his head. She's manipulative. It's hard to know what's real with her. The doorbell rang, cutting through our conversation. I opened it to find Vivian carrying Nate, who looked pale and tired. He needs help, she said, her anger replaced by desperation. All right, Ted, making way for them. We'll get him checked. Vivian followed me inside, her eyes scanning the house suspiciously. Nate clung to her, his small frame shivering. It's okay, Nate, I reassured him. We're going to take care of you. After a quick call, our family doctor agreed to swing by on his way home. While we waited, Vivian paced the room, her restlessness palpable. I warned you, Claire. If anything happens to Nate, it's on you. Vivian, no one's against you, I replied, trying to stay calm. We're here to help. The doctor arrived, examined Nate, and determined he had a mild fever, nothing serious. He prescribed some medication and left. Vivian's eyes blazed. See? This is why I needed the money. He didn't need a doctor visit, just medicine. Vivian, you could have told us that, Sam said, standing beside me. But you always make it a fight. I can't rely on you for anything, she hissed, grabbing Nate. I'll find a way myself. As she stormed out, the weight of her threats lingered. It was clear her schemes were far from over, and the shadow she cast over our home grew darker with each passing day. But one thing was certain, we had to stand our ground. For each other. And for our sanity. I was wiping the kitchen counter when I heard the doorbell. My shoulders tensed immediately. A part of me already knew it was Vivian. I walked to the door, bracing myself for another confrontation. Vivian stood there, looking disheveled. Beside her was Nate, clutching her hand. I need a place to stay, Claire. We got evicted, she declared, her tone daring me to refuse. I hesitated, my mind racing. Throwing her out with Nate in tow would create a scene, and he didn't deserve this. Come in, I said reluctantly, stepping aside. She strutted in, acting like she owned the place. Nate followed quietly, his eyes wide and unsure. Victor and Sam came out from the living room, their faces registering surprise at this new development. What's going on? Sam asked, looking between Vivian and me. We were evicted. No place to go, Vivian repeated, her voice losing some of its bravado. For how long? Victor asked, his voice trembling. Not long. Just until I find something, she lied, and we all knew it. Victor sighed. For Nate's sake. Sam pulled me aside. Claire, we can't let her take over. We need strong boundaries. I know, I whispered. We'll handle it. Vivian settled into the spare room, spreading her things around like she was moving in permanently. Meanwhile, Nate curled up on the bed, looking exhausted. Later that evening, I found myself in the kitchen cooking dinner. Vivian sauntered in, opening cabinets and drawers without asking. Where's the salt? She demanded. It's right in front of you, I said, trying to keep the irritation out of my voice. Don't get snippy with me, she snapped, grabbing the salt container. I didn't ask to be here. No, you just showed up and expected us to say yes, I retorted. Before she could answer, Sam walked in. What are you two arguing about now? Nothing, we both said at the same time, turning away from each other. Dinner was tense. Vivian kept making snide comments about the food, the house, even criticizing Sam's job. Software engineering, huh? Bet it's boring sitting behind a desk all day. Sam bit his tongue, refusing to engage. I admired his restraint. However, when Vivian started talking about selling some of Victor's things, I'd had enough. You're not selling anything, I said firmly. She leaned back, smirking. Oh yeah, who says? I do. This is our home. You're here on our terms. Vivian's eyes narrowed. We'll see about that. After dinner, Sam and I sat in our bedroom, the weight of Vivian's presence pressing down on us. We need a plan, Claire, Sam said quietly. She can't take over. I nodded, already feeling drained. We'll figure it out, Sam. I'll talk to Victor tomorrow. We have to stand our ground. Sam squeezed my hand. Together, we'll get through this. As we turned off the light, I knew it was only a matter of time before Vivian's presence would force us into action. Whatever it took, we would protect our home and our peace. Vivian's stay was quickly becoming unbearable. Every morning, her loud demands and disrespectful comments echoed through the house. One day, as I was preparing breakfast, Vivian barged into the kitchen. Why is there never anything good to eat in this house? She sneered, rummaging through the fridge. I clenched my jaw, trying to maintain calm. There's plenty. You just refuse to see it. Vivian scoffed, slamming the fridge door. You call this food? No wonder you're always stressed. Bet Sam's tired of it, too. You don't know anything about us, I shot back, tired of her constant jabs. Don't I? She leaned against the counter, crossing her arms. I see everything. You think you're so perfect, Claire. Well, newsflash, you're not. Just then, Sam walked in, eyes darting between us. What's going on? Vivian's just criticizing everything. Again, I said, handing him his coffee. Vivian snorted. Oh, poor Claire. Little Miss Perfect. She can't handle a bit of truth. That's enough, Vivian, Sam said firmly. We're doing the best we can under the circumstances. Victor came in, moving slowly with his walker. Stop this, both of you. We're family. Vivian's eyes flashed with anger. Yeah, a family where I'm the black sheep. Thanks for reminding me, Dad. Frustration boiled over, and I slammed my hand on the table. Listen, Vivian. This house was a gift from my uncle. We've worked hard to maintain it and take care of Dad. You don't get to waltz in here and disrupt our lives. Vivian's expression turned cold and calculating. Gift from your uncle? So, you didn't even earn it yourself. I knew you were a gold digger. That's enough, Sam shouted. You will respect this house and everyone in it, or you'll have to leave. Vivian smirked, a vicious glint in her eyes. Try me. The atmosphere grew thick with tension. while we had Nate to think about. I couldn't let Vivian's toxic behavior ruin our peace. Arguments became a daily occurrence, each one escalating more than the last. One evening, as we sat down for dinner, Vivian pushed her plate away in disdain. "This is inedible. Do you even know how to cook?" "I'd had enough. If you don't like the food, you're welcome to leave. No one's forcing you to stay." "Maybe I will," she snapped back, pushing her chair away and storming out of the room. The silence that followed was suffocating. Victor sighed heavily, his face lined with regret. "I'm so sorry, Claire. I should have done better by her." I placed a reassuring hand on his. "It's not your fault, Victor. We'll handle this." Later, as Sam and I lay in bed, the weight of the situation pressed down on us even more. "Claire, we can't keep living like this," he said quietly. "We need to force her out." I nodded, my resolve hardening. "We will, Sam, but we need to be smart about it." United against Vivian's tyranny, we knew we had to act soon. The brewing storm within our home was reaching a boiling point, and we would do whatever it took to reclaim our peace. I woke up early, determined to start the day with a plan. As Sam got ready for work, I pulled him aside. "We need to talk," I said softly, not wanting to wake Vivian. He nodded, grabbing his coffee. "What's the plan?" "I've been thinking," I began, whispering. "We need to gather support. Victor, for one, needs to be on board. The only way to end this is together." Sam agreed. "I'll talk to Dad tonight. Make sure he's with us. We can't let Vivian manipulate him anymore." The day dragged on, with every moment feeling heavier than the last. Vivian was more unbearable, if that was even possible. She left her mess everywhere, let Nate run wild, and seemed to take pleasure in making snide remarks whenever we crossed paths. That evening, as we sat in the living room, I broached the topic with Victor. "Dad, we have to talk about Vivian." He looked up, his face a mix of sadness and guilt. "What now?" "She's destroying our peace. We can't function like this anymore," Sam said, sitting down beside him. Victor sighed deeply. "I know, I've seen it firsthand. She's always been difficult, but this—" "It's more than difficult," I interjected. "She's toxic, and it's affecting everyone, especially Nate." Victor stared at his hands, his voice barely above a whisper. "What do you suggest?" "We need to stand united. We need her out of here," Sam said, his tone firm. Victor hesitated, then nodded slowly. "You're right. It's time. We can't enable her anymore." Just then, Vivian walked in, as if she sensed the tension. "What are you all conspiring about?" "Vivian, sit down," Sam said, his voice commanding. Her eyes narrowed, but she took a seat, crossing her arms defensively. "What now?" "We've had enough," I said bluntly. "Your behavior is unacceptable. We're giving you an ultimatum. Either change, respect the house and find somewhere else to stay, or you leave." Vivian's face turned red with anger. "You can't just throw me and Nate out." Victor chimed in, his voice shaky but resolute. "Vivian, you need to understand. This is Claire and Sam's house. They've been patient, but enough is enough." Her eyes darted around, calculating. "So it's a mutiny, huh? You think I can't see through you?" "This isn't about us against you," Sam said, trying to keep calm. "It's about protecting our family." Vivian smirked, the look on her face full of contempt. "Family? You call this a family? Some family you are, ganging up on your own blood." "This is about sanity," I said firmly. "We won't stand by and let you destroy everything." Vivian stood up abruptly, knocking over her chair. "You'll regret this," she spat, storming out of the room. We sat in silence for a moment, the weight of what had just happened settling in. It wasn't over yet, but it was a necessary first step. As Vivian's threats echoed in my mind, I knew we had to stay strong, united in our resolve. The days ahead would be challenging, but we were ready for them. We had to reclaim our home, our peace, and our lives. I woke up determined that today would be different. I had a plan, and it was time to execute it. Over breakfast, I exchanged a glance with Sam and gave a slight nod. We needed to act quickly and decisively. "Claire, what's on your mind?" Victor asked, sensing the tension. I put down my fork. "Victor, Sam and I decided. We're leaving the house today." "What?" Victor's eyes widened. "Where will we go?" "We found a small apartment nearby, just a temporary place until we figure things out," Sam said, looking at his father. Victor sighed heavily. "All right, if that's the way it has to be." Vivian burst into the room looking livid. "You're not going anywhere. This is a joke, right?" "No," I said firmly. "We've had enough. We're leaving, and we're taking Dad with us." Vivian's face twisted in anger. "You can't just run away! You think this solves anything?" Sam stood up, his expression stern. "Yes, it does. It's time we took control." Vivian's eyes narrowed. "I won't let you do this. You're abandoning family." Victor, his voice steadier than it had been in years, spoke up. No, Vivian, you've abandoned us. We can't live like this. I headed toward the door, grabbing the packed suitcases we'd stashed there earlier. Sam followed, helping Victor to his feet. Vivian tried to block our path. You'll regret this, she hissed. No, you will, Vivian, I retorted. You've brought this on yourself. Vivian grabbed my arm, her grip tight and desperate. Claire, please, don't do this. I shook her off, my resolve unshaken. We have to, for our own sanity. She stood there, defeated, as we walked out. The drive to the apartment was silent but filled with an unspoken relief. Upon arrival, the small space felt like a haven compared to the chaos we'd left behind. Sam set up Victor's things and helped him settle into a recliner. We'll be okay, Dad. This is just temporary until we figure out our next move. Victor nodded, looking around the modest apartment. It's better than living in that tension. That night, as we sat around a makeshift dinner table, the atmosphere was lighter, the air easier to breathe. We should have done this sooner, Sam said, his eyes reflecting a mix of relief and exhaustion. I agree, I said, feeling the weight lift off my shoulders. Victor took a deep breath. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Sam, for everything. The next few days passed uneventfully, a stark contrast to the turmoil we'd endured. For the first time in months, we felt a sense of peace. We were finally free from the toxic grip of Vivian, and it felt like a fresh start. As I lay in bed that night, I knew we'd done the right thing. Vivian's threats and manipulations no longer had power over us. We were starting a new chapter, one where we controlled our happiness and peace. No more shadows loomed over our lives. Life in the new apartment settled into a comforting routine quickly. For the first time in what felt like forever, there was a sense of calm and stability. One afternoon, Sam came home with some news. I ran into an old friend today, Mark. You remember Mark, right? I nodded. Of course. How's he doing? He's good, Sam replied, a slight frown forming. He mentioned seeing Vivian. My heart skipped a beat. What did he say? She's staying with her ex-boyfriend, Derek, Sam said, his voice lowering. Apparently, it's not going well. He's a pretty shady character. My stomach turned. I hope Nate's all right. He doesn't deserve this. We can't control Vivian's decisions, Claire. We did our best, Sam reassured me. We had to protect our own family. That evening, as we were having dinner, my phone buzzed with a message. It was from a number I didn't recognize. I read it aloud. You think you won, Claire? Think again. This isn't over. Victor looked up, worry etched across his face. Vivian? Who else? Sam muttered, shaking his head. Ignore it. She's just trying to rattle us. Although we brushed it off, a tension settled over us. We knew Vivian wouldn't give up easily, but we were prepared. Our newfound peace was worth fighting for. A few days later, Derek showed up at our apartment. The look on his face was grim. Are you Claire? He asked. Yes, I said, feeling both confused and cautious. What do you want? It's about Vivian, he began. She's out of control, even for me. I kicked her out this morning. Sam stepped forward. And Nate? He's with me, safe, Derek said quickly. But you need to know, she's been talking crazy stuff saying she'll take revenge on all of you. Victor sighed heavily. What now? We keep living our lives, I replied firmly. We won't let her threats control us, Derek nodded. Good, be careful, she's unpredictable. As he left, a heavy silence filled the room. Vivian was still a threat, but her power over us had significantly diminished. We had drawn a line in the sand and we wouldn't back down. The next few weeks brought their share of challenges. Vivian's absence was both a relief and a reminder of the chaos she had caused. My thoughts often wandered to Nate, hoping he was safe with Derek, despite everything. One evening, while Sam and I were cleaning up after dinner, there was a knock at the door. I opened it to find Vivian, disheveled and desperate. Claire, I need help, she pleaded. Vivian, you've caused enough trouble. We can't let you back into our lives, I said, my voice steady, her eyes filled with hatred. You think you're better than me? You're nothing without me to torment you. That's where you're wrong, I replied calmly. We're stronger now. We've found peace and we won't let you take it from us. Vivian's face contorted with anger as she turned on her heel and stormed off. As the door closed behind her, a sense of finality settled in. We had faced our demons and emerged stronger. Sam put his arm around me. She's gone, Claire. For good this time. I hope so, Sam. I really hope so, I whispered, feeling the weight of the past months finally begin to lift. We had weathered the storm and come out the other side, a stronger, more united family. The shadows of Vivian's wrath would no longer haunt us. We were free. The months that followed Vivian's final outburst were transformative. Our small apartment became a haven of peace and unity. We forged new routines, and the tranquility was almost surreal after the tumultuous times we had endured. One sunny afternoon, Sam and I took a walk in the nearby park. The breeze was gentle, carrying the scents of blooming flowers. We sat on a bench, watching children play and enjoying the simple moment. "Can you believe how much our lives have changed?" Sam asked, looking at me with a content smile. "It's like we can finally breathe," I replied, squeezing his hand. "We made the right choice." "I'm just glad we did it together," Sam said. "We've become stronger through all of this." We walked back home, feeling lighter and more connected than ever. Victor was in the living room, reading a book. He looked up and smiled as we entered. "You two look happy," he remarked. "We are, Victor," I said, feeling genuine joy. "How about you? How are you settling in?" "Better than I could have hoped," he replied. "Thank you both for standing by me." Later, as we sat around the dinner table, the sense of family was palpable. The ghost of Vivian's influence had finally been exorcised, leaving room for healing and growth. Our conversations were filled with laughter and future plans, a stark contrast to the arguments and tension that used to dominate our lives. One evening, there was another unexpected knock at the door. This time, it was Derek and Nate. "Can we come in?" Derek asked, holding Nate's hand. "Of course," I said, stepping aside to let them in. Derek explained their situation. "Vivian's gone, Claire. She left Nate with me and disappeared. I can't take care of him on my own." I looked at Nate, who seemed lost and frightened. "You can stay with us," I said without hesitation. "Nate is part of our family." Nate's face lit up slightly, and he clung to Derek's side. "Thank you, Claire," Derek said, his voice choked with relief. As the days turned into weeks, Nate started to feel more at home. He bonded with Victor, who enjoyed having the young energy in the house. Sam and I felt a renewed sense of purpose, giving Nate the stability and love he desperately needed. One night, as we tucked Nate into bed, he looked up at me and asked, "Will we be okay here?" "Yes, Nate," I assured him, brushing the hair from his forehead. "We're safe now. We'll take care of each other." As I closed his bedroom door, Sam wrapped his arm around me. "We did it, Claire. We really did it." "We did," I echoed, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment. "And we'll keep doing it. Together." Our journey had brought us through dark times, but it had also forged unbreakable bonds. We had proven that no matter the storm, family and love would always guide us to calm waters. The shadows that once haunted our lives were gone, replaced by the bright promise of a new dawn. With a sense of fulfillment and hope, we faced our future, ready to embrace whatever came our way, knowing we had each other.